I have always an idea that as I know Haiti, the important thing for me is this, that whenever they talk about the massacre of a group in such or such village, they didn't call the name. The names do not seem important to them. Nevertheless, the people killed are important. And I have always, when they talk about the people they kill like this without discrimination, without knowing whom they are killing, they might have killed the genius in this area. If they go and kill them, maybe they have killed the one who would have saved this country. After all, in the rage of killing, they could have killed Aristide when he was a kid at Port Salut, because a little boy of Port Salut. That is, you kill him without mentioning his name. This is the way they are killing people, have been killing people. That deserves justice.
There is no moral authority in this country now. They all have the people's blood on their hands.
There is no justice. They kill your brother, your mother, your sister, your family, and you still have to look at that killer with your two eyes. You are never given justice.
Le 16 décembre 1990, il a fait un choix qu'il doit respecter. Là, il fait d'appuyant dans mes lits. Eh bien, c'est un coup pour tout le peuple haïtien. Et non seulement le peuple haïtien pour ça, c'est le monde entier qui prend le tout. Parce que l'on est prend coup, j'ai couru de l'eau.
We are reeds. We bend, but we do not break.
Haitian voters have already made their choice since December 1990. We have, in majority, chosen one president, one leader. This is Jean-Pierre Aristide.
They can kill one person. They can kill 10,000 people. But they can't kill the will of the people. We want everyone to know that we have been resisting for 200 years, and we will win.
This moment is at least very critical and very dangerous for everybody. Because on one hand, you have the majority of the population which is ready for the return of Aristide and the return of democracy, because this majority of the population has been fighting for it. But still, a small group of people has enough power to oppose seriously and dangerously to the process. The question, of course, at this moment is, where do they find the help to do this? Somewhere they must have an alliance. Somewhere they have friends. Why? What are the real objectives of this international community and of Washington? Because Washington is the leader as far as Haiti is concerned, even the entire world now.
On September 30, 1991, Aristide was ousted in the military coup. The full story of that coup is not yet on the public record, but it's clear that although publicly the U.S. was saying Aristide ought to be restored, privately the U.S. was pleased with the coup. Within hours of the coup, the U.S. Embassy was praising the Haitian officers who'd carried it out as a professional group, and they were disparaging Aristide, saying he was an autocrat, he'd brought it on himself.
So the question is, what kind of attitude will come back? Huh? What kind? The Haitians say we don't want attitude without his teeth, without his language, without this tongue, without this wonderful vision of the world, Haitian world with justice, equity, and so on. Justice for everybody, equity, and so on. This vision of a society based on respect, based on law. But a attitude, prisoner of forces that don't want really democracy for people, but want the status quo, with the name democracy, but the status quo.
Nous-mêmes, vaudouisés, nous avons réclamé la paix pour le pays d'Haïti. Nous avons pouqué, nous avons béglé, nous avons chanté depuis ici jusqu'à l'autre bord, depuis l'autre bord jusqu'à ici. Nous toujours chanté, nous avons relé, nous avons demandé délivrance au pays. Nous ne sommes pas capables de vivre encore. Ça vient trop raide pour nous. C'est ça que fait nous pas chanter pour nous dire Haïti. Ala ouli pays a ouli. Oh Haïti, tout mati pays pamna, pays pamna, pays pamna. Ala ouli Haïti ouli. Nous venons pour notre bourgeois courir nous venons pour notre mais yo courir nous papa, même mon yo vile sous nous pas petit yo, c'est la vie. Ala ouli pays a ouli. Haïti, Haïti, Haïti. Ala ouli pays a ouli, papa moi. Haïti pays a ouli. Haïti, Haïti, ala ouli pays a ouli. Nous venons pour notre bourgeois courir nous venons pour notre mais yo courir non papa, même mon yo vile son non pas petit yo, c'est la vie. Ala ou les pays na ou les
grand maître avec nous tous. C'est pour bon Dieu qui a tout pouvoir, lui-même qui a manifesté dans la revendication peuple haïtien, lui-même qui a fait des jeunesses là, joué le rôle principal là, lui-même qui a vu des bénédictions sans je dire, non, lui-même qui papa, qui petit là et qui l'Esprit Saint. For a long time, I used to say Mass at 9 o'clock on Sundays in my small church at the edge of the slum in our capital. It was hot, but we were happy. Happy to be together, sitting down, talking in the shadow of the high roof of Saint Jean Bosco. My church was a place where anyone, market woman, beggar, jobless, young man, student, child, anyone, could speak out to the congregation. I love that place. I live in Haiti. Map vive la caille. La caille, c'est la caille.
Aristide, as a priest, embodied perfectly all the hopes and desire of the people. Aristide, in the pulpit, preached the philosophy of Christ. The people understood that very well, and with all their power, the people made Aristide their candidate. At first, he didn't want that, but if Aristide had not been the candidate, the people would not have voted.
Haitian history has never been easy. We were a nation of slaves who rose up against the colonizers and made a revolution. The rich of my country, a tiny percentage of our population, sit at a vast table overflowing with good food, while the rest of my countrymen and countrywomen are crowded under that table starving. It is a violent situation. We are all living under a system so corrupt that to ask for a plate of rice and beans every day for every man, woman, and child is to preach a revolution. That is the crime of which I stand accused, preaching food for all men and women.
Dans le premier jour, ça Aristide fait pour nous. Laisse ça, il était fait fonder la famille, c'est la vie.
Aristide had a vision. He saw that we were living in misery. He took us from the street and created La Famille, C'est la Vie. He made a place for us to sleep and gave us food when we were hungry. But the Makout would not tolerate this. They came to crush us when they saw that he was opening our eyes to the social realities, that he was showing us how to live together as people.
Father Aristide sent for us so that he could organize some help for us, understand? He wanted to build a center for us. He said, some are sitting around the table while we are living under the table. He wanted to fight, to take us out from under the table and put us around the table like anyone else. That is how La Famille C'est la Vie was working in 1986. Understand?
C'est comme ça, La Famille C'est la Vie a marché en 86. Pour journée jeudi en 93 n'arrivé.
Until today, we are still C'est la Vie. To be a C'est la Vie is good. C'est la Vie is not easy to get. C'est la Vie is something that we struggle for. Not everyone can understand C'est la Vie. And so they say Titid is crazy. Titid is dirty. Titid is nobody. Titid was inspired.
The Makouts have so much power in their hands. They started hating him so much because of what he was teaching us. They became even more aggressive and determined to kill us and to kill the one who was bringing us out of the darkness and into the light of day. Some of us were killed and were eaten by dogs, by pigs in the streets. The day that Aristide became president, they burnt our house, and 4 children died in the fire.
Just happy like that?
Yes.
Does anyone know who did it?
No.
Did anyone see it happen?
I am témoin.
Yo ban nou chala poche nou pa kaputil, men chala lou ina oulil, chala loun pa kaputil ou na oulil. Samba ou, parole mwen lanke mneg, parole mwen lanke mwen, parole la lanke mwen, li fe mwen malou, samba sa pa malou, adye ou samba ma oulil, samba men sa pa malou.
During the St. John Bosco massacre, the Makouts came with red handkerchiefs on their arms, with big knives in their hands. A pregnant woman in church was stabbed. They stabbed her in the belly.
Francois has always been a Duvalierist. 100% of his blood is Duvalierist. He's the number 1 Duvalierist Makout criminal. Someone who burned a church with a lot of people in it. He wanted to pay us to spy for him. He called me one day to ask where Aristide sleeps so that he could kill him.
He wanted to cut Aristide's head and bring it to Henri Nafi so that he could drink his rum in it. Romain was mayor, and Nafi would have passed him the presidency if he had cut Aristide's head. No one can ask justice for their mothers, their children, their brothers and sisters and fathers that Romain killed. They can't ask justice of Frank Romain.
Le jour de cette affaire de Saint Jean Bosco, depuis, ça s'est passé un dimanche.
The day of that Saint Jean Bosco thing, it was a Sunday. I was out of town. I came back when I heard about it. No, sir. I did not participate in it.
Yeah, my canvases are reality, not necessarily political. They reality of the life I live in Haiti. They're the reality of what I see, what I feel, what I dream. That's what my canvases are about. And you could call them political, what I call them reality. And I'm gonna keep painting, because I'm gonna keep feeling, hopefully. Whatever I feel, I'm gonna paint.
I am Haitian. I love my country. I was born here, from my mother that was born here. I am what they call in Haiti by the Constitution, a Haitian by origin, and I help my country. I'm dedicated to a fight. I will be dead in Haiti. I never want to die someplace else. This is a fight. I know the danger of the fight, but I cannot leave my country because of assassins controlling it. I have to fight to get rid of those assassins. Myself, I got involved very much to change the state of dictatorship that we were living under Duvalier, and also to make changes for the best of the poor people. It is clear that I am a millionaire, but money has never gone to my head or like it does for so many people. But my way of doing was always to act in politics because people have to take part of what is going on in their country.
Oh, Antoine Ismail meant a lot for the struggle. Antoine Ismail was a strong voice. He was the other side of Aristide. Antoine Ismail was this other voice, very important voice that kept telling us, watch out. I am not sure that they really want us to obtain the return of democracy in this country. I don't really think that those people are our friends. Let's keep them away. Let's keep fighting our own fight. So the things about the repression, the same idea of seeing so many poors is what puts me in the battle. So this can tell you the emotional feelings that I may have. But at the same time, I am very conscious that when I'm acting in the politics of the country, this is not that emotional feelings that reacted on me. It's a matter that there must be a change, and I know who is facing with me. We have all those smugglers, we have all those military assassins, we have all those drug dealers, and they don't play. We are fighting a mafia government. So I know what it is. And people used to call me that I'm too radical on my thinking. I do not accept the word radical because I know what is going on. The repression is to stop you from speaking, stop you from acting, stop you from blocking. All those bad people, they use only one thing, machine gun, pistol, or whatever. They kill you what they call the clean way. And that poor person who maybe doesn't even have a family living in town, his family won't even know what happened to him maybe. This is where George is also. Under there, I have my mother, my father, and George, my brother. You see, the difference is that my mother died of a cancer, my father died of a heart attack, but George was assassinated. And that makes a total difference on why we are here today. Big hurt
for us all, particularly the way it happened, why it happened. You know, it's someone that I was very close to. We were brothers, that's one thing, but we worked together for the past 25 years. Every day we were together in the business, also at home. Either I passed by his place, either I passed by my place. In one way or the other, I was with his immediate family. We were leaving the store at around 6 p.m. and we left as usual. We came down and we closed the door, and my car was just in front over here. And when everything was finished, I went into my car, and George crossed the street from over here to the corner to go to his car. And arriving there, I already left, and maybe 2 minutes after I left, he was shot and killed with a bullet just by the stomach over there, and 2 in the back. There were a lot of street passerby, street merchants, street vendors. They were all there and they saw it. But everyone, as you know, with the state of repression that we are living here right now, will not speak. They are afraid to be killed themselves. The police station is just 300 feet where my brother was killed. We know that those killers went to hide themselves into that police station.
Today, in the name of George, I speak for all the disappeared, for the poor, the students, journalists, peasants, workers, peaceful citizens. To understand this outrageous crime beyond the pain and the emotion, we must understand that they want to transform Haiti before our eyes into a vast prison, an immense cemetery. Stand up. Become conscious. Continue to fight. Don't stop. Oppose that government. They are assassins. The criminals have struck down someone well-known, of good heart, who made his money through hard work. Always there are senseless killings. Since September 30th, the army has started again with its old ways.
Oh, Jésus, notre roi, oh, Jésus, notre roi, mon oh, donne ton amour, aïe, donne-moi ton amour, ouais, donne-moi ton amour.
Jean-Bertrand Aristide is my leader. He has chosen to be nonviolent, to practice the policy of nonviolence. We should not be scared in a sense that we have to run away and leave Haiti to the assassins. Haitians must reach out to each other. Supporters of democracy in Haiti, friends of Haitians, must come together and defeat this minority that want to keep us enslaved. The method, the procedure, the tactic chosen by President Aristide is the proper way to go. And probably if he was violent and many Haitians would die, an occupation would take place, the country would be divided, and it would be a very bad thing. We, or some of us in the church who are following the liberation preached by Jesus, and I think we should make our place within the church. We're not going to leave the church to the conservative groups. We must make them understand that killing innocent people is wrong. Stealing money of innocent people is wrong. Siding with the oppressors is wrong. We must practice what the original church wanted. Jesus came for the oppressed one. The gospel spoke about the little one, not to side with the wealthy against the little one. One group, particularly some bishops and very few priests, very few nuns, have sided with the civil-military government.
On parle de majorité.
They talk of majority, but be careful. There are two kinds of majority.
Il y a la majorité quantitative.
The quantitative majority, that is the ignorant rabble, and the qualitative majority.
On néglige trop cette espèce de majorité. Je souligne que
when we talk of majority, let us not neglect to underline this distinction. Quantitative majority and qualitative majority. For me, it is the qualitative majority that has value, because the quantitative majority acts blindly, not understanding what it is choosing.
Quantitative, négligeant la majorité qualitative. Et je crois, pour moi, de ces deux majorités, c'est la quantitative qui a beaucoup de valeur. Parce que la quantitative peut agir aveuglement, ignorant ce qu'il choisit.
The church in Haiti first is divided.
Toutes les familles.
All of the families should thank God for the September 30th coup d'État.
Il y a eu le coup d'État, la coup de force du 30 septembre. Parce que dans les consciences d'Aristide,
because if Aristide had continued to encourage his rabble, the others would not have stood for it.
L'armée a empêché qu'il y ait du sang versé.
The army prevented the bloodbath. What Aristide deserved was to have been executed the same day. But they spared him. Well, he should thank God. And as for those who claim that he will return, well, again, if he returns, it will be the end of him.
But the majority of priests, nuns, a minority of bishops have sided with the people, and they are of great help. There are so many people in hiding who need food, who need shelter, who need clothing, who need some good words to keep their morale strong, to keep on going, resisting. Aristide is coming. He's in the air. Melalea, Avini. We need that. We need to encourage them.
Well, liberation theology was a very significant change in modern history, in fact. For most of its history, the Catholic Church had been the church of the wealthy, the church of the oppressors, the church of the torturers. There was a very dramatic change in the 1960s and the 1970s as it was the Latin American bishops undertook what they called the preferential option for the poor. They committed themselves, large segments of the church committed themselves to working for the needs and interests of the vast majority of the population who are impoverished and suffering and living in semi-slavery and so on. And that had big effects. In Central America in particular, it led to very significant organizing efforts Bible study groups that became self-help groups, that Christian-based communities that turned into peasant associations, unions. There was a real proliferation of popular organizations, very often church-inspired, not entirely, but often church-inspired, led by people of real nobility. I mean, you can't exaggerate the character of these people. Many of them, that set in motion a huge repression, led by the United States, backed by most of Europe, whatever rhetoric they like to say.
Nobody knows Aristide around here. He was put into power by grassroots organizations, like the Little Church, like the agronomist people here, and the communists, especially the communists.
Allô, 02 et 45, nous tous deux dans l'air là, on a commencé par 45. Allez-y 45.
Allô?
Oui, allez-y donc.
Maman suit avec un pile attention.
And since Aristide was not a political man, he think that he could destroy an entire society. And the society turned around, which is the Duvalier society, kick him out. If he do the same thing here, they're going to kick him out again. Because he will never have the time to build this type of society. It took us 40 years to build this society. And he will need 40 years to do that.
In Haiti, what happened is that we are a small country, a very poor country, but with people that are very much politically involved, much more than many countries in the world. And that's why example of Haiti is easy to catch. Okay. Thank you. You know, I have helped in the financing of the campaign for Aristide.
In 1990, the U.S. decided that it was time for a free election in Haiti. The idea was that Marc Bazin, former World Bank economist, longtime U.S. protege, would win the election and would implement a World Bank IMF structural readjustment program for Haiti that would make the economy even more hospitable to foreign investors. At the last minute, though, the Haitian Popular Movement confounded the U.S. plan by coming forward with Aristide as the candidate. He swept to victory with 2/3 of the vote. The embassy didn't know what hit it. They were stunned.
Jimmy Carter came down here like they did in Santo Domingo, just to promote the person of their choice. In Santo Domingo, it was Balaguer. Balaguer won the election, but didn't win the election. They made him win the election, and they consecrated him as the president. Over here in Haiti, they wanted Bazin as a president. And when they came over here, it was known from the industrial sector that it was Bazin who is going to win, and that's what they informed the U.S. Embassy over here.
C'est toute une histoire.
It's a long story. They always talk about elections, but the people were never included in it.
5 octobre, ça a marché comme ça, bon, bah, il n'a pas marché même. Je crois dans mi-octobre, je crois 19, 20, comme ça, je pas changé de date spécialement. Aristide annoncé sur radio.
In mid-October, Aristide announced his candidacy. The next morning, the people rushed to get their voters' card. That day, people suddenly understood what election could mean for Haiti.
I mean, the idea of raising the standard of the poor, let's put it that way, that was something new. And that was something new even among those who have been talking about that before. This is one thing that you should take into account, that there have been many people who have been talking about it before, but they didn't have the idea of realizing it.
But in fact, as we want to have a complete change, which is a revolution, so we continue to fight.
When Carter came down here, actually I was the one that arranged a meeting between him and, not yet president, but then candidate Aristide. That day of 16th of December 1990, they went to see Aristide at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Not Carter himself, but all the group that was accompanying him. One of them, Robert Pastor, Andrew Young, there was Mr. White, which was in the Congress, in the American Congress. And they were there to ask Aristide how would he face the loss of the election.
I knew exactly what Jimmy Carter was up to when he was here before the election. How he wished that even the Constitution would be violated by the Electoral Council in order to fit the desires of the American government. I knew all that, therefore, I wonder if Carter is not innocent, but stupid.
I received the Carter delegation here, telling me, well, we are concerned because tomorrow there is going to be a bloodshed. I said, a bloodshed? Why? Well, Aristide followers think they are going to win, and there is no way they can win. Don't fool yourself, Father. They are going to lose. Why? Well, Aristide is heading a movement, but Bazin as an organization. And always where there is a confrontation between movement and organization, the organization wins. So you are going to lose. I said, well, maybe you are not well informed, because organization is not on the side of Bazin, for what I know. And you are heading for a big surprise tomorrow, very big surprise.
I voted for Petitier, for Lavalas, for the Worcester. I voted for the situation to change.
Bazin is bad merchandise. They spent $6 million to get him elected, which we would have had to pay back in Haitian money.
Monter le monter président, c'est repayer, le obligé de repayer $6 millions ça avec l'argent haïtien. Et que quoi américain,
The Americans are trying to stuff this merchandise down our throats with big publicity. But it is bad merchandise.
Qui est capable de mettre en colère nous par rapport à une question que pas ta compétition.
Maybe if there were no competition, no other choice, they would have succeeded. But now, with Aristide in the race, even if they gave us Bazin for free, we don't need him anymore.
So this went on, and when I went home, the next day in the morning, 6:30, Bob Pastor gave me a phone call to tell me Antoine gave out the good news, we are going to support Aristide. Then I myself, I was hell. How did you know? The ballot hasn't been casted, all the ballot hasn't been controlled yet. Just to show how much they were involved in trying to make changes. So the next day before Jimmy Carter left, they make a press conference in which they said that we are going to support Aristide as the president of Haiti.
Aristide is exactly what the people are waiting for. Finally, the people can get out from under all the dirty games that the imperialists have been playing in this country for so long. And once again, the Makouts are out.
We are cleaning up in the spirit of Lavalas. We are doing it for President Aristide, but we won't do it for any other president. All the other presidents were Makouts.
There was great hope. The future means a lot to all of us. You should see that within 3 days, they clean up the cities, they clean up Haiti. It was beautiful, colorful, painted, and we are having a good time.
When it's not painted, it makes me uncomfortable. The cleaner it is, the cleaner I feel inside. I love my country. It's wonderful, as if God descended on earth.
In Port-au-Prince, you could not find a spot on the street. And within 3 days, no government could not do that job. But the Haitian people, because of the determination, the will, the power, the love of the country, the love of democracy, they have changed the face of the country.
From where I was sitting, I certainly had the impression that the U.S. government and the media and the elites here were very surprised by the outcome. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely, because they thought that the people won't come out to vote, but they were surprised.
They didn't have contacts with the mass movements? Or...
Yeah, indeed, some of the key candidates were saying these people are dirty feet. They were insulting the people, and they didn't know that it was going to be one man, one vote. So they thought that it was going to be a traditional movement where a big country will give the power to a favorite candidate.
As you know, with René Préval, who was the prime minister under the government of Aristide, we were, the three of us, that is President Aristide, who became president, René Préval, who became prime minister, and myself, who started the candidacy of President Aristide.
Oui, il faut faire les élections, mais quel résultat?
Yes, we must hold elections.
Quel résultat?
But what about the results?
Peut-être qu'on n'avait pas souhaité ce résultat. Donc, il faut que ce résultat qui a été acquis soit dénaturé, soit...
Perhaps they didn't want such strong results, so the result must be watered down, modified.
Donc, je crois que de ce point de vue, on ne peut pas dire oui, les États-Unis.
Yes, the U.S. is for holding elections, but it is against the results.
De l'affaire, c'est-à-dire les élections, mais ils sont contre le résultat de l'affaire. C'est la contradiction.
That is the contradiction.
It is clear also that from the paper that came out from the Heritage Foundation, dated the 11th of February 1991, that no organization in the United States were going to accept President Aristide to change what we have been fighting for to change. That is, give the majority of the people the capacity to control themselves and moving it forward to be what we call a country, a democratic country as per the majority of the people want.
Bonjour. Est-ce que nous sentons nous la caille nous? Est-ce que le palais national c'est caille pauvre tout? Donc, mais Keke parce que nous sentons nous la caille nous.
The popular movement was not perceived, and when it swept into power a populist priest who was obviously committed to doing something for the poor, and when the general population reacted to that with such extraordinary enthusiasm and energy, that set off all the usual bells and the standard procedures to reverse that.
In 7 months, they did everything they could to sabotage the Lavalas government and make the September 30 coup d'etat.
And we know the work of infiltration, the damaging work that the U.S. ambassador in Haiti, Alvin Adams, were doing by moving into the parliament whenever he wanted to, moving to the headquarters of the military headquarters anytime he wanted to, moving into the palace whenever he wanted to. And that's how, with the help of the oligarchy, business oligarchy over here, the big guys over here, supporting the coup d'etat and still supporting the army. And as you know, no smugglers, private, can go on smuggling without having what we call a godfather in the army.
The minority, of course, takes profit, a lot of profit. We have in Haiti almost 300 millionaires. And still, the revenue per capita in Haiti is $320 a year. But we have 300 millionaires in Haiti. We have 4,000 families earning $100,000 a year. But the average revenue per capita revenue is $320 a year. That means some people don't have $1 a day. In fact, it's horrible, the inequality. And what those who oppose Aristide and democracy realize that people know it. People are aware of it and they want to change it. The Haitian people want to change this, to break the barriers, to destroy this apartheid society.
Coup d'État, c'est pas un coup d'État qui était fait contre Aristide.
The coup d'etat was not a coup against Aristide. It was a coup against the people, against the changes that the people wanted for their country.
Faut nous connaître bien que sous gouvernement Aristide, il a commencé à publier.
Aristide had begun to publish the names of all the people who owed the state, of the people who were cheating the state. He was putting out names to expose the corruption. It was clear that Aristide's government was working with the people and for the people.
Within an economic plan, whatever its level of perfection, can we allow Lac-Ouane Brewery to owe the state 535,619 good 66? Can we permit the National Brewery to owe the state 4,999,956 good 7? Can we allow Fabnac to owe the state 9,189,844 good 97? And finally, to be brief, can we permit Hasco to owe the state 15,625,625 good 90?
Just say it. What we don't want Aristide to tell us that we have to pay our taxes. We don't want Aristide to say that these people need justice, social equity. We don't want anybody to tell us, or at least not Aristide, that we must share. The national revenue must be redistributed in another way. That's what they don't want. They don't want to lose their social and economic privilege. The question remains, given the fact that those people who oppose democracy are still alive and are still very much active.
Thank you.
Everybody knows who gives the orders and who is obeyed. Everybody knows that. Their names are public. But nobody can do anything against them. And still, you can feel that the situation, the position is very fragile.
Okay, you know, Aristide government, one thing that no one could say anything about, that there was no corruption. They were fighting corruption, and they were fighting it for the real matter. That is, stopping and changing the state in this country.
In Aristide's first period in office, he tried to implement the program of the popular movement, what he called overturning the table of exploitation. He started modestly, trying to double the real minimum wage, implement a social security system for Haitian workers. These efforts were shot down by the Haitian elite, USAID, the US government.
We were on the streets when the whole coup happened. It started that Monday morning. And I was on the street and I saw innocent people being shot at. I went to the morgue, I got shot at. I just saw a lot of, it was like a massacre. It was a massacre. And to hear people, politicians, wannabe politicians, say that nothing happened is a disgrace.
Général Cédras, Michel François, Jean-Jacques Honorat, Marc Bazin, Major Valmy, and all those other ones, together with the private sector that financed that coup, should be in jail and prosecuted for having killed over 10,000 people in Haiti during that coup. Jean-Claude Nadal is involved in the coup. And Oriol Michel, in whose house there was a meeting that day of the 29th of September for the coup d'etat. The family Meuse is another big family over here. That was the prête-nom, a nickname for the Duvalier, not nickname, but for legal papers, they put the Meuse name in there. And that's how Meuse started. A Brant, a Murat, a Saliba, a Moscoso, a Bidjo, a Nadal, a famille Accra, the famille Meuse, or a Saint-Hubert, the Madsen, or a Cassis, or whatever else it may be. We have also Clifford Brant and his sons that I have to add to the list. They paid out money to the military to be able to make the payroll after the coup. Nessim Murat is a guy that was a really active Duvalier supporter, particularly Jean-Claude Duvalier. You have here Ramses Haloun and Romeo Haloun. They are two brothers. Ramses is the younger brother, but Ramses used to work with the Cassis, whom I see also in the list. And Romeo is supposed to be the commercial informant for General Raoul Cédras, together with another one I don't see in the list, Hugh Paris, who used to smuggle all the Mercedes-Benz stolen in Miami. And they are commercial advisors for Raoul Cédras, the general. And one not never to forget is Gilbert Abidjo, someone that is said to have made more than $40 million in a few years with Jean-Claude Duvalier. He's still making commission out of all the sales of ammunition and Uzi machine guns. In the meantime, without getting too far away from what we are saying, I just want to call on your attention something else, which is when you see Bernard Sansaric, the senator over here, when you take that guy who is with the government, the Duvalieris right now, and when you know that those people, that those Duvalieris killed all his family in 1963, and now you see that fellow grow up, now a senator, instead of remembering what happened under the Duvalier time, now is with the Duvalier regime and making operation on his also on his side. There is a second big example on that too. Is the second in Mid. Mid is the Bazin party. And this one is François Benoit. In 1963 also, there was the 26th of April 1963, François Benoit's family, François Benoit was a lieutenant at that time. They killed his son, they killed his mother, his father, and everyone else in the family. He happened to run away. And now he is with Bazin and going into that kind of dirty games together with the military and the same Totomakut. This is a shame. That's those people that sells their family, they sells their soul to get into the dirtiness and the, what we call in over here so much now, the magouilleur. And this is incredible.
As a matter of fact, we call them night birds because they work very late at night so they can pass false laws in their advantage of their partners who wants to kill Haiti, who are ripping off the economy of the country. They want to put their own government in power so they can fill up their pocket with money. You know, they can bucket up their bank account, and raise up everything in their advantage, buy many more houses around the world, many more cars, and to travel and enjoy their life while the people of Haiti are starving for food, for the main thing, for the utilities to live on. So the decision there is rest only on the army power, on the bad guy of the army, so they can pass this legislation to name a dictator there because they don't want the democracy to come back in Haiti like they claim they want it.
The parliament is not puppets. Puppets, you know that. And besides, we say the parliament. I am not quite sure that they have the majority. If you followed the vote, for example, for the prime minister, they never at any time gave the number of parliamentarians who are there. They didn't even count the vote. The president said, almost unanimity. Almost unanimity. They have no shame. Those people are the ones who are saying, we want democracy, we want the constitution to be observed. That's the person who are saying that.
My name is Thomas Eddie Dupiton, President of the Senate. The army is an institution under the control of the Department of Defense, Interior and Defense. They have their autonomy to do anything that regard the armed forces to guarantee security and peace.
Cherche une solution définitive à la crise, de vider les débats cet après-midi. Je déclare cette séance ouverte.
They coexist. The workers, the owners, it's like every other society in the world, except we have a very small middle class. Unfortunately, our lower classes are large, much too large.
Vous montrez nous danser, danse, vous battez.
You would just have to listen to the play on words. It's absolutely delightful.
Is there any political message in this?
Not really. Not really.
Well, you remember that I discussed that with Titid, and we have the same feeling toward exile, that I take Haiti with me in exile. I live in Haiti. I live all the time in Haiti while I am in exile. You remember Titid said that he didn't change the time of his watch. He kept the time of Haiti on his watch. But I don't use a watch at all. But because I don't like watches. But I keep a lot of things more sentimental than the watch. I like the landscapes because I have lived in a certain place in my childhood and in my youth, in my adolescence, and I carry those places with me. I carry even the birds with me. And the trees, the mountains, the sea aspect, the beaches, I carry them with me. I write about them. Because I write about them, I live in the middle of them. So some people would take a title of my book and think this is where I was born because I am so much, I would say, part of the landscape. And this landscape also is part of whatever I have. I use to think, to organize my thinking. So I think that I have the same kind of feeling.
He was ousted in a coup in September of 1991 and has lived in exile ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, we have tonight as the main speaker of our 500 Years of Resistance rally, a priest, a prophet, a president, an inspiration to all those who want to see our world changed. Please welcome President Aristide.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Very nice to meet you. May I introduce Mr. Baker from the Foreign Office, who's come with me. Very nice that we could have this meeting. Where would you like to sit?
He has taken our cause to the world. He has been traveling around and advocating for the Haitian people, advocating for Haiti.
President Aristide, could you talk a little bit about Lavalas and what it meant to the people of Haiti as a new movement of the people, especially maybe you could talk a little bit about the spiritual dimension, and the spiritual dimension which is part of many of the new movements in the Caribbean.
In our flag is written, L'union fait la force. Getting together, we become strong. That means Lavalas, the flood. Several rivers, when they come together, that give forced the flood so Lavalas. We did that when we saw more than 67% of the population voting for democracy, for us, for Lavalas. That was unity. Not only poor, rich and poor, not only civil, military and civil. We could realize during those 7 months how the military were building unity with the civil. That means Lavalas.
When they ask me, why you don't accept any argument to go back to your country and to be again president having power there? I say, I didn't went to politics to have any kind of power. You can have power to kill people. You can have power to take the money of the state and to put it in your pocket. I don't want that kind of power. I was elected. I have to respect my constitution. Now, everybody who wants to help me respecting my constitution to go back to my country, continuing to serve my country, respecting human rights, respecting life.
Bon, solution pour yo joindre dans crise là, pour crise là pas arrêter Jean Lia et pour le pas venir plus dur.
The only solution to this crisis is the return of our president.
Bon, mais pour faire problème d'insécurité qui fait nous pas de parler. Et jusqu'au nier problème d'insécurité à blaye sur nous toujours, nous pas jamais parler, nous pas gain droit de la parole.
Because of the insecurity, we can't talk. We don't have the right to talk. No matter what you see, you can't talk. You have to die with it in your heart. It wasn't like that before. Before we came and went as we pleased. We could sleep in our beds without any problems. But since the September 30th coup d'etat, all hell broke loose on us, and we are suffering. Yes, if the people had the guns and they were told to use them, then they would use them. We had better stop talking. There is a spy coming. Look behind.
So when the weapons can win for a couple of months, don't worry about that. Don't be afraid, because we can be stronger than them by the way we are moving, shaking the table, peaceful way to do that, but strong way to do that in order to change that situation.
They want a new Haiti. So at that time, you see a mass movement from all over within the diaspora, we call now the 10th Department, and within Haiti. By 10th Department, we mean the Haitians who are living abroad. So they form what we call the 10th Department. Understand that Haiti is divided into 9 geographical regions we call departments. So to make the Haitians abroad feel closer to home, we call them members of the 10th Department, which is bodily, they form the 10th Department.
When do you want it? Now. What do you want? Justice. When do you want it? Now. What do you want? Justice. When do you want it? Now. What do you want? Justice.
Pas décourager.
No se desmayen.
Pas baisser bras non.
No bajen la bandera.
Pas la guerre ça.
No dejen eso.
Continuez lutter.
Continúen la lucha.
Goumen, je nous capable.
El pleito hay que echarlo.
La
como
buena organización.
En buena forma de organización.
L'autre.
Uno ayúdense.
Protège l'autre.
Uno proteja al otro. Mantenga la resistencia firme. Mantenga la resistencia firme. Mantenga la resistencia más firme. Uno somos débiles. Juntos somos fuertes.
Nous la balance.
Juntos somos la avalancha.
Bueno. Donc aujourd'hui, Radio Nikio a organisé une journée de...
Today, Radio Enriquillo has organized a special day of solidarity. We have invited Mano and his group for live transmission to Haiti from this radio station, which is listened to all over Haiti. We made some publicity, and we know that right now thousands of Haitians are listening to the radios to hear Mano and his group perform live for all the Haitian people.
Commandant, à vous sommes commandant, à vous sommes commandant, à vous sommes commandant. Pantalon blé, yo dit li ba un grand, pantalon d'Akwana, yo dit c'est li boucan.
So Mano is singing those kind of songs that get into the heart of the population and which reflects the real crude truth, not the turning around the dirty politics that are, the lies, that the bluffs and everything that goes into the in government talk.
Myself personally, I like to listen to Enriquillo and December 16 because there are some songs that we cannot hear in Haiti. They're not playing in Haiti. It's only from these radios that we can enjoy this encouraging, engagé, committed singing, because this is really the truth. A minority that has money paying some soldiers to go around to kill innocent people and sometimes their own brothers and sisters.
When I return to Haiti, and I will return, I won't only be doing cultural work. I have two characters, cultural one and a revolutionary one. I will lean more toward that revolutionary character because it is time to make change, to reverse the established rules. I will work to motivate the movement. Not only me, there will be others. I will fight to change the situation.
Yes, because I knew Mano, but not. I wasn't a friend of his, you see. But in jail, we did have a lot of time to speak because we spent our days sitting there. It's actually 6 days together. We were in the same cells. And we were speaking about, about politics itself, about his way of thinking, about, I happen to know him a lot better. And till now, we keep in touch. He is traveling because he went to the Argentinian embassy and left the country. And once in a while, I still have his phone number. And when he was in Santo Domingo, he called me. When he passed by Miami, he calls me. When he is in New York, I get a call too. Or I call him also just to know how he is doing.
Ou candidat fait campagne pour gain plus général, lui-même la cardinal.
Monseigneur plus général, cardinal sous la paix, attendez, peuple à santé.
Père chanter. Nous accompagnons pays à ses bouillots, qui voit goûter pour faire du bouillot. Y'a nous logo, les mêmes descendent à chanter à Oyo. Mon pays, les chanter. Nous accompagnons pays à ses bouillots, qui voit goûter pour faire du bouillot. Y'a m'attendé, un jour nous logo, les mêmes descendent à chanter à
Groupe de résistance avec nous, pour ne pas quitter la mort.
We must not let death break us. We are not fighting for death. We are fighting for life. Today we speak of Mano Chalmai because he is a man of the resistance.
Fin fait un travail, yo arrête qui ça yo do pour faire même bouche pour pas parler encore.
When someone does something good, what happens? They arrest you, they silence you, so that you will never speak again. But Mano speaks for everyone to hear.
I'm from Leogan, and I know that many members of my family are here in Saint-Domingue suffering just like you are. I'll tell you the reason why I supported Jean-Bertrand Aristide for president. It's rare to find a man as honest as Aristide. Therefore, I supported him. The big countries never liked Aristide. Whenever someone fights to help the people, to give dignity to all people, they hate you.
Don't think it's a question of talking about love as a kind of love. This love, as I already said, this is for us the biggest power, the power of the future. This is for us the only reason which can feed us in order to be strong, faithful, making the world better day after day. Because those who build those structures of corruption, having so many money, will realize they will not be able to continue to impose their corruption. With love, we don't go with corruption. When you see people lying to have political power, don't lie with them. Stay strong, have your ethical way to do politics, and you will realize how many changes you will do. But if you don't love ethics, if you don't love justice, if you don't love men and women, if you don't love the world, if you don't love from the bottom of your heart, you will not be able to do that, because money can corrupt you, political power can corrupt you. Once you have love, be sure you have the force which you need to get together and to make the world changing day after day.
Pay? I don't pay for my shack. The company lets me use it, and in return, I work for the company. For me, the coup d'etat has a hidden hand. I can't tell you who that hidden hand is. Maybe it's the Haitian bourgeoisie, maybe it's the State Department. But there is a hidden hand. That hidden hand, only God knows. Only God knows.
he sort of embodied what Dr. King was all about, his commitment to nonviolence, his concern for the poor and the oppressed, the stories and analogies that he shared with us regarding his own life and the danger that his life is confronted with each and every day. The people were excited. He brought a new sense of vigor and excitement to our congregation, and we were just most impressed. This whole week of him being in Atlanta to celebrate and honor Dr. King has been tremendously exciting for all of us. He has sort of just captured this community and caught it by storm. He's such an humble man and such a gentle spirit that he brings to us what we've been missing for quite some time. And we just thank God that he was able to come and to share and to spend this time with us and to honor a man who means so much to us, Martin Luther King Jr. And now we have someone else who we can also say who walks in those footsteps and who walks in that tradition, President John Bertrand Aristide.
Oh, don't let the news media in.
No cameras. No cameras. Avec Louise Bennett qui vit encore. Comme garder.
You see, even in Africa, where I spent a long time in exile, I always carried Haiti in my heart. In Africa, as in Haiti, the only way to solve the problems is to have respect for the people. And Aristide says it well in the title of his book, Tout moun, c'est moun, all people, our people.
What Mauricio has just said went straight to my heart. It flows through my blood and strengthens me like a vitamin. Today, I am sitting on the right of a very great man. He doesn't like me saying that, but that is what he is.
All the things which are based on a manifestation of African beliefs are things which appear in Vodou. For instance, the dream is common in Vodou. Haitians dream a lot. Like me, I dream a lot. I don't consider myself a Vaudouisan, but the dreams that I dream resemble the dreams of the Vaudouisans because we have the same culture. So we have the same dream.
When we go to a ceremony, we dance. All the bones in our body participate in the dance to enter into contact, into communion with the spirits that we believe in. At a Vodou ceremony, you must dance. The dance is the motor that stirs the spirits of the resistance to strengthen the people.
Vodou music has always reflected the reality of Haiti. And also it's reflecting the reality of the people of Haiti. So the history of the people of Haiti has always been a history of resistance since 1503 when they came on this island, when they brought the black slaves on this island. They have been always fighting against repression, against slavery, and until today, they are still fighting against any kind of repression that does exist in this country. The only successful slave revolution in world history took place in Haiti and was led by Toussaint Louverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines, who founded the first Black Republic in 1804.
Little by little, the bird will make its nest. All the people in jail
all the people in slavery will rise up again one day and do the same thing that they did at the time of Dessalines, of Cabral-la-Mort, of Henry Christophe. This will happen again in Haiti. And I pray God will keep me alive until then because I can fight too. But right now, I am powerless.
Since the independence in 1804, it has always been the corrupt who governed us. We need a revolution to change the structure of this society. We need a complete cleanup. A non-violent strategy is no longer possible at this time.
So a revolution will happen in Haiti. If there is no solution to the Aristide case, there will be a revolution. And this revolution will definitely, and I really expect it, and I really wish it happened, because at least after 1986 to 1992 now, that 6 years that we have been waiting for the completion of that revolution, because we didn't have a full revolution on the 7th of February 1986 when they took off Jean-Claude Duvalier. So if this revolution happened, and I wish it to happen, it will at least and finally get rid of this oligarchy. You know, some kind of 17 to 20 families over here.
A nation has been fighting for his life for 200 years. 1804, and then 1915, and then 1957, and then 1986.
When I think of the destiny of people like Toussaint Louverture, for instance, the destiny of people like Dessalines, of course, I think that they are capable, they have been capable of doing good things, they are capable of great imagination, and they are capable of great decision. And I've been somewhat, very much influenced by that.
I just want to read Morisot's beautiful poem about Dessalines. Morisot says,
Merci Dessalines. Papa Dessalines, merci. Chaque fois me senti sa mieux, me dit merci Dessalines. Chaque fois me tende yon nèg colonie, nèg qui poko libre parler, me dit Dessalines, merci. C'est moi qui connais ça ou pour moi. Merci Papa Dessalines.
Merci Dessalines. Papa Dessalines, merci. Chaque fois me senti ça mieux, me dit merci Dessalines. Chaque fois me tendon nèg colonie, nèg qui poko libre parler, me dit Dessalines, merci. C'est moi qui connais ça pour moi. Merci Papa Dessalines. Si mon nom, c'est pour me dire merci Dessalines. Si mon verger me garder, c'est grâce à vous Dessalines. Si me lever tête moi pour me marcher, c'est grâce à vous Dessalines. Chaque fois me garder l'autre nègre, me dit merci Dessalines. L'homme moi ça cap passer l'autre côté, me dit merci Dessalines. L'homme tend des blancs yo parler, me dit Papa Dessalines merci. L'homme tend des quelques nègres pareil moi parler, me dit merci Papa Dessalines. C'est moi qui connais ça pour moi. Tout Dessalines, Dessalines sang moi, Dessalines dégrangé, Dessalines entrailles moi, c'est moi qui connais. C'est pour tout nèg dit merci Dessalines. C'est où montrer une chimère non, merci Dessalines. C'est où lumière non Dessalines.
I came here for the culture. I came here for the voodoo rhythms. We use voodoo songs from the ceremonies as bits. We take bits of them and use them as choruses in our songs. and so it's words from the spirits, and so they're vague but they're powerful. While doing the research into the rhythms, I came to the theory that most American music, jazz, rock, blues, comes from the voodoo rhythms, the voodoo songs. Haiti's independence was tied into this whole voodoo thing, and because the revolution was successful in the early 1800s, the surrounding communities tried to stomp out the voodoo ceremonies and the drumming. And so instead of drumming, they picked up guitars, they picked up other instruments, and so these rhythms evolved into other forms of music. Jazz, blues, rhythm and blues. You'll notice that all that stuff came from New Orleans, which is the whole Creole contact between here and Haiti. So culturally speaking, Western music, you can get to its roots here in Haiti, to the original roots, which has remained pure because Haiti's remained isolated.
Et la conversation de food and conversation all alone.
It's a difficult moment, very, very hard. I don't know to describe it because I don't want to mix the political situation with the economic situation.
The boat people tragedy really started with the Duvalier regime in the 60s. The people had to run far away from the repression conducted by the Papadoc Tontomacoutes. When Aristide became president, the boat stopped living. But it started again massively after the September 1991 coup, when killing and raping became an everyday terror against Aristide supporters. That is against 90% of the population of this country.
President Aristide tried to make changes, but it has so much barriers in front of him. In Haiti, the army was left over here in Haiti by the Americans after the occupation of Haiti between 1915 to 1934. The army was left in Haiti by the Americans to control the activity of the population. That is automatically, it is not an army to defend the country, but to do repression against its own people, and to keep the control of the politics in the hands of the army.
Depuis doctrine de Monroe, qui dit,
Since the Monroe Doctrine, the big stick policy, America has been the policeman of the world. They are marching around the world intervening. That is what we want to avoid. We know that they had their hand in the coup. That's not a secret from anyone. The American government had its hand in the coup d'etat.
I describe myself as an occupation boy. That means I have lived through the occupation, and during the time of occupation, of the first occupation, the families were divided, the Haitian families were divided in two. The families who like the occupation and profit from it, and the families who dislike the occupation and suffered from it. Both the Morissos and the Lerois dislike the occupation. It was a question of American, of colonists. And I've been brought up in the study of the Haitian War for Independence. I saw the first American occupation as a great disaster for Haiti.
Now, the threat to U.S. interests is defined very clearly in the highest level planning document, which I quote, the threat is independent nationalism, independent regimes, which are nationalist regimes, which are responsive to pressures from the masses of the population. These countries are horror chambers, and they're not horror chambers because that's the way God has created the Caribbean. We are told, and history records, that the third world is to play a service function. It's to provide resources, raw materials, cheap labor, investment opportunities, markets, opportunities to export pollution, and so on. That's its role.
Is that what we really want for Haiti? I don't accept it. This is a way to sell the country and put it into the order of what the international community wants to do with us. I'm fighting against making Haiti becoming the domestic of the world, of the international, the big seven, if you want to call that like this. It is impossible that a country be dominated like that by the international community. We are part of a movement that requests change in the country. Actually, that's the Lavalas movement. It's to reach in the government a change for the country, and a change in favor of the majority of the people living in Haiti, I mean Haitians. And the small group of people of the right, supported by the imperialist right wing, do not want that. So the point is that everyone that try to make a change that is not partner with that extreme right are just moved out. And when I said moved out, are killed, are eliminated, are put to bankruptcy, and so on. And that's the way that it goes. And when you hear that they killed in the coup d'etat over 10,000 people of the Haitians, you have to keep in mind that at least 6,000 of those youth that have been eliminated were done with principle from the CIA, from the Nazi system, from the Mossad system. They pinpoint them and they kill them. And out of those 10,000, as I was saying, at least 6,000 of them are future leader. Or if they are not future leader, they are already a little leader in their quarter, in their corner, in their zone, in their territory. You take a block in the street, they control that block and they kill them.
Les forces qui s'opposent.
The forces that are opposed to change,
à la volonté du peuple haïtien,
that are opposed to the will of the Haitian people,
une seule alternative, c'est de faire taire le peuple haïtien.
must silence the people.
Faire taire par les balles,
silence them
le
with
faire taire
bullets,
avec la peur, le faire taire
silence them with fear.
Like my brother was killed by the military. This army is rotten, finished, and I mention it so often, completely rotten. There is no more one guys left into it. I believe that because of the assassination of my brother, we made so much noise about it all over the world that now touching me is a little hard for them to do. And they won't touch me unless they receive the order from groups like the CIA or other ones. The guy came in over here. The police were just asking what to do, you know? Because the guy came over here, shot, call on everyone. This country is in the hands of the communists. If there is that mass, we will show this will finish in a bloodshed. So the police were asking if they have to still go ahead because they are afraid of.
Who's asking? The priests, you said?
No. Someone came over here and talked to the priests who were there.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
that there will be a bloodshed if that mass is on. But we still have
that man who came over there.
Yeah, who came over here, talked over there.
He was threatening you? Or
He was threatening in the middle of the church while the other one was going out. While the funeral was going out, he came over here and moved over there and said that this will end out in the bloodshed if this mass is going on. But we still will have it. We cannot be afraid of them, definitely.
What's going on?
They are?
Where are they?
I didn't even know if they were attachés. It was out on that side of the street, and I ran, and there were two guys.
Which side, in the front or on the side?
The side where the street you picked me up. Where were you?
We were outside.
In your car?
No, we're standing near the observer car, and then we saw suddenly people running. So very courageously we ran. Okay, listen, I'm going to circle around.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Stay with me.
Okay.
We saw them. What? We saw the attaché get out of their car.
And you saw some of them you heard shooting. You didn't see guns?
I heard shooting. It sounded like it was coming on the other opposite side of the church. Oh yeah, I heard three.
You mean in the front?
To me, I was running in the opposite direction of the shooting.
Good drive, right?
Oh, there's someone lying in the 1020s maybe.
No.
It looked like
I'll go back.
Can you?
Oh, hang on a second.
Oh my God. Oh, I can't believe it.
You know they might come back.
Yeah, they might come back.
Okay, listen. No. S'il te plaît.
Mais pas là. Mais pas là. Là. Là.
Ismarie's assassination was a devastating blow to the popular movement, to democratic forces in Haiti, because it sent the message that even the highest profile, the most influential person is subject to execution if they dare to stand up, if they say the wrong thing. So it seems that Ismarie, using his own sources, you know, he was in the export-import business. He had extensive sources on the docks. He had connections throughout the business world. He knew what was going on in Haiti. Ismarie was able to learn really the two key elements of the secret U.S. policy in Haiti, the fact that U.S. intelligence was working with Constant and the FRAP, and the fact that these clandestine arms shipments were coming in to the Haitian coup regime. He learned these facts in the months before his assassination.
Il était devenu beaucoup plus... Il n'était pas agressif, au contraire. Et il disait la vérité, rien que la vérité. Et ces gens-là, la vérité blesse, malheureusement. Pourquoi l'ont-ils tué? Pourquoi? Parce qu'il y a une raison.
Mommy.
No, we were coming down. We were going to Doris's mom's house, and we were coming down because we didn't know about it. And we were just turning the corner. We were going to go by the church to see if everything was calm. Everything was going fine. And we turned the corner and we saw him on the floor. All of them were in the car.
Yeah.
Et il s'est sacrifié pour Haïti. Il s'est sacrifié pour Haïti.
He spoke the most unspeakable truths in Haiti, used his wealth and his high-profile social position to try to tell the world what was being done to the Haitian people. He knew he was risking his life in doing so, but he did it anyway.
When Ismarie died, we knew that the foreigners were continuing to score against us because we knew that the military attachés alone did not have enough power to kill Ismarie. What happens is that when someone wants to represent us and defend us, they kill them. They use the military to do their dirty work. But we know that there is a hidden hand behind the military.
I hope that Antoine Ismarie last words were wrong. His last words were, I remember him saying in a meeting at the moment where in a place where in another room there was a negotiation with the international community, and he kept saying in our room where we were saying they are liars. They don't want us to go back to democracy. They don't want Aristide to be back. Watch out. I hope that he was wrong.
There were endless negotiations with the USA, UN, Caputo, Pezzulo, and Cedras for the return of Aristide. On July 3, 1993, Washington pressured Aristide to accept a deal called the Governor's Island Accord. Aristide would be returned to his people in his country as president on October 30th, 1993. Before Aristide's arrival, advanced teams of U.S. and Canadian soldiers would enter Haiti. This was the beginning of foreign military intervention.
Buddy, get out of the way or I'm going to get you out of the way.
Well, Derek, we're delighted to meet you. What's happening?
Well, first of our troops have arrived.
They seem to be going out their way to...
Well, I'm afraid they're with United Nations and they are going out with the other UN troops. But if you want to come around to the embassy at any time, I'm delighted to see you.
We're coming along shortly, so perhaps we can see you there. How many have arrived?
There are 5 have arrived today.
5?
Yes.
Okay, and what's their role going to be?
Oh, well, I'll leave that up to United Nations because they're here under United Nations flag, so they've been I would get in touch with the United Nations spokesman.
Okay, Derek, thanks a lot. We'll see you later at the embassy.
Excellent. Delighted. Okay. Excuse me. Delighted. We didn't meet at the hotel. Derek Fraser.
Sorry, really stern.
Delighted.
Thank you.
Meet you.
Does this mission have a name? Desert Storm?
No, it does not. It does not have a name like that. At this point, it's the UN military mission to Haiti.
For us, the return of Aristide is a necessity. How he gets here really doesn't matter, as long as he gets here. The only benefit for us in the Governor's Island Accord is Aristide's return. All the rest is to the advantage of the coup makers.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We seem to be growing all the time here. Before we begin, let me just go through a couple of housekeeping things. Don't forget the ambassador's little reception from 5 to 7 today at his residence. This will be no cameras, off the record, just very informal. We'll have some embassy people there. If you can get the embassy people to talk to you on background, go right ahead. But, you know, it's supposed to be just a very pleasant afternoon, very informal, very casual.
Hi, hey.
Executive Director.
How are you, sir?
President of the
Nice to see you. How are you? How are you? Very nice to meet you.
Secretary of State Warren Christopher has said that it's more important to concentrate on the restoration of democracy than setting a date for the return of President Aristide. Is this a shift from the U.S. position that democracy can only be restored with Aristide's return?
I would say it's the current position. It's the current position. I wouldn't want to comment on what the Secretary has said because he made his pronouncement, I believe, yesterday.
Okay, this will be on background, so let's turn the cameras off.
I am very much looking forward to my time here, and I want you to know, as we've said several times before, that the commitment of the United States government to this transitional process from authoritarian rule to democracy is firm and unshakable. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
The media are largely representatives of the social forces that own and dominate the country. It would be astonishing if it were any other way. There's nothing mysterious about that. The major agenda-setting media are themselves huge corporations responsive to corporate and state interests. If elements in the media ever began to present material, information, analysis, and understanding which undercut those interests, they wouldn't last very long. So by perfectly normal, by the operation of just essentially free market mechanisms, the media end up becoming basically institutions which present the world and interpret the world as it is perceived by those with real power. And it's no secret that in our society that means the state-corporate nexus. And correspondingly, that's the picture of the world they present. That's the picture of life that they present. Everything from sitcoms to editorials reflects those assumptions and those interests.
They'll be coming by boat?
Yes, they'll be coming by ship at the wharf here in Port-au-Prince. I don't know what time.
We don't want those boats out there in the bay to bring the Marines in with their war paint.
But you all should also, keep a low profile.
We understand that, but if you're going to stand up on the matter of human rights, you've got to stand up where the problems are. You can't sort of take a low profile there.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but also, right now we're in a difficult period. The country's in a difficult period, and I, as your deputy chief of mission here, want the well-being of all of you. And I think it's fine. Come here. We agree with you, but you don't want to get in the middle of that. So keep it low key. Democracy will come back. We got to work together, though. Okay. Thanks. Thank you. Please feel free to join us anytime we have warden meetings. Listen to the radio.
We told Ellen that
we're on Channel 1, and we have notices on the situation here.
Et ça, ce travail ça qui permet que le peuple américain mette pression sur le gouvernement là.
And I think that the American people that way should put pressure on their government.
Pour faire connaître que pays Haïti sont pays grand monde.
To say that Haiti is a country of grown-ups.
Donc il n'est pas capable de prendre Haïti servir comme la cour la Kaili.
And it can't just come into Haiti any time it wants, like it's its backyard.
C'était une étape pour aboutir sur l'intervention militaire étrangère dans le pays.
A step towards foreign military intervention in the country.
Parce que nous croyons que les États-Unis voulaient résoudre la crise là.
Because we feel if the United States really wanted to resolve the crisis.
Gagner des mesures qu'ils étaient capables de prendre pour capable obliger pour qui se remettre pouvoir.
There are measures they could take to force the coup makers to return power.
So the basic reasoning is that the plan of the United States is to maintain the domination of the wealthy sectors.
C'est pour supporter les secteurs qui gagnent l'argent dans le pays.
And to undermine the popular movements.
Et pour subvertir mouvement populaire.
Which is in fact exactly the position that the United States has always taken. So let's assume that that's correct. Let's assume that that is their plan. I think that's right.
They can intervene anytime they want.
Mais ça que nous-mêmes, en tant qu'organisation populaire, que nous devons faire.
But what we as popular organizations should do.
Nous croyons que nous devons pas arrêter à la défensive.
But we think we can't remain on the defensive.
Parce que nous pensons que les États-Unis sont une grande puissance.
Because the United States is a big power.
And then, et lui-même, il peut intervenir n'importe qui l'est, et puis là, ça n'a pas été bois croisé, regarder.
And any time they can intervene, so we should sit with our arms crossed and watch what happens.
Je crois que le travail qui doit être fait là.
The job that should be done there.
C'est mobiliser le peuple là.
To mobilize the people.
Pour défendre intérêt.
To defend its interests.
Quel que soit moyen, quel que soit prix le gain pour le payer pour lui.
Whatever the means, whatever the price he has to pay for it.
Under those conditions, two questions. Are the Haitian people ready to carry out those actions at the cost that they will suffer?
The Haitian people has no choice. They have to fight. They have to mobilize. They have to organize themselves to finish with this situation. So that's the kind of work that we're doing right now.
The U.S. can invade any country they wish at any time, as they have done in Panama, as they have done in Grenada in 1982, as they are doing today in Somalia, under the cover of the UN, as they would like to do in Cuba, and in Bosnia-Herzegovina. In Haiti, they can always intervene when they want. They will always find accomplices like Conze. But the people's memory is very long. They remember that it was the U.S. that came in 1915 and killed Charlemagne Péral.
Intervention militaire.
Military intervention is not good for the people. Military intervention would only help the same group of people who possess everything. It would simply get us rid of one big shot, the same way they got rid of Jean-Claude Duvalier.
J'avais dit moi-même sincèrement intervention
I can tell you that intervention will not help the masses at all. It is the small group of people that could benefit, and they are working for it.
Not VIP one.